Okay guys, this is on a 2009 Polaris Sportsman XP 550 with the electronic fuel injected. What's going on is when I was shifting gears, the display was not reading the correct gear. When I was in park, it would read park. When I was in reverse, it would read reverse. When I was in neutral, it would read reverse. And when I was in low, that read low. And when I was in high, it read low. So after a lot of research and reading some forums and checking my service manual, I narrowed it down to the gear selector switch, which is on the right side of the machine, and it's right down here where the linkage connects, right here, and this black piece of plastic is the gear selector switch. So I've already changed out to a new one, so I'm not going to show you how to do that, but it's very simple. This pin right there comes off with just a flathead screwdriver and a pair of needle nose pliers. Slip that off, slip this washer off, and it just pulls off. So what I did though to narrow down what the problem was I unplugged. This is the plug that goes into the gear selector switch. Sorry about my camera, my phone's having some issues lately. But this plugs right there into the top of that gear selector switch. You can see right there. And so right now, with it being unplugged, I'm getting no reading no matter what gear I put it in. Okay, so what I did was, in the service manual, it shows that let me find the page I had it on. Okay, right here. In the service manual, it shows the colors of wires. So C, spot C, is the constant. So I just took a piece of old wire I had, stripped out some copper on it, and I started jumping the spots in the plug. So C, keep your wire in C, and then you can jump the A, the B, the D, E, and F, and that'll give you your F is high gear, E is low gear, D is neutral, B is reverse, and A is park. So I took my piece of wire, and let me get this to where I can hold this at the same time here. I don't know if I'll be able to. Hang on, let me put the phone down for a second. Okay. So I've got my piece of wire plugged in to the C slot. And if you take the other end of the wire and put it in any of the other slots, so I've got that on the very end slot, which would be F, and you can see up on the screen it's showing high. Now if I move it to the next one over, it'll show low. I don't know if the camera's focusing on that or not. Neutral, high, low, should be right there. Anyway, you get the picture. So if you're able to jump all those positions in the plug and everything's working on your display, then you know that it's the gear selector switch that's gone bad. If you're jumping these on the plug and they're not, showing up on the display, then you have another problem. That means your wiring harness has gone bad. And this is the original wiring harness for this machine out of '09. And it's a plug and play harness. However, they've done away with the plug and play, and it's now a cut and splice hardwire. So this is just a few inches up from the plug, and this is the resistor module. It's this piece right here, and this is a plug and play piece. This whole thing they've gone away from, and it's now you cut the wires here in front of it, and this whole thing gets replaced with one piece. It's not a two-piece item anymore. Fortunately, mine was not bad, and it was just my gear selector switch. That selector switch is about $100, and this resistor module is about $110. And so fortunately, I'm not going to have to replace this because my harness is still good. Now, I did take this, unplug this, and it was filthy dirty. So I cleaned it off really good on the inside, blew it out, and plugged it back in. Anyway, so once you replace that gear selector switch right there, you can plug this back in. So once that's plugged in, now you see that I'm reading park and I'm in park. So go up to reverse, neutral, low, and high. Low, neutral, reverse, park. And that's it. So the part for the part number for that gear selector switch is 3236115, and I got mine from partzilla.com, and this is the old one. Now I will say, when I was putting it back on, I did not realize that there's this little detent pin looking thing sticking off the back of this, and when I put the new one on, I did not get it inside of that right there. And so when I was shifting the gears, the gear selector switch was moving from the 12 o'clock position that it's in. It was going all the way to about 2 o'clock. And so I still was not getting the correct readings. It was still doing the same problem. So once I figured out that this little piece right here has to go in, and it fits inside of that piece of metal right there, that solved the problem. So when you're putting it back on, make sure that you get it into the 12 o'clock position and the little appendage is stuck inside that little groove right there of the casing. So, alright, if your display is not reading the correct gears that you're in, swap out your gear selector switch. Alright, thanks.